The tower had been standing for 2 years. 2 years. Hundreds of thousands of attempts. And nobody, not one single player, had ever reached the top. Until the day a kid named Mayo tried it with a cracked screen. The Tower of Hell in Roblox was not supposed to be beatable. That was the point. The whole point. 108 sections of pure obstruction. Spinning blades, disappearing platforms, walls that moved at speeds that broke human reaction times. Each section harder than the last. The top floor, a single platform the size of one block, ringed by blades spinning at maximum speed. The leaderboard showed 0 completions. Not 0 this week, not 0 this month. 0. Ever. In 2 years. The community called it the Permanent Zero, a badge of honor for the tower itself. Some players spent months trying. Some spent years. The closest anyone had ever gotten was Section 94, a player called Apex who had documented every single attempt on video and quit the game entirely when he failed Section 94 for the 400th time. His goodbye post said one thing: it cannot be done. Mayo was 11 years old and his screen had been cracked for 3 months. Not a little cracked. The top right quarter of his monitor, a diagonal split from corner to center, showed nothing, just white static, like a quarter of the game world had been erased. He had asked his parents for a new screen twice. The answer was the same both times: not yet. So he played with what he had. The thing about playing with a broken screen for 3 months was this: you stopped seeing the game the way other players saw it. You could not rely on your eyes for the top right. You had to learn the game differently, by timing, by rhythm, by counting steps and memorizing exactly how many were between each obstacle. You learned to feel the tower. Other players watched. Mayo listened. And in 3 months of playing everything with a broken screen, he had accidentally built something nobody else had. A map. Inside his head. A complete, precise, counted map of every section of the tower. Not visual, not dependent on sight. Pure timing. Pure rhythm. Step 1. 2 beats. Pivot left. 3 beats. Jump. 1 beat. Land. He had never tried the Tower of Hell specifically, but the day he decided to, he already knew it. Not from looking at it, from 3 months of learning to count. He posted in the Tower of Hell server before he started. Not a challenge, just a note. Attempting full run today, broken screen, top right quarter not visible, will update. 3 people replied. The first, good luck, LOL. The second, why would you try with a broken screen that's literally impossible? The third, a player named Zenith who had been attempting the tower for 8 months, bro, don't waste your time. Apex couldn't do it with perfect vision. Mayo read all 3 replies. Then he opened the tower. Section 1 through Section 20, standard. Players who had been practicing for weeks struggled here. Mayo moved through them in rhythm. Step, beat, beat, pivot, step, like a metronome. His head barely moving. His eyes not even tracking the top right of the screen because there was nothing there to track. Zenith had joined the server to watch, then 6 others, then 12. Section 30, the pendulum section. 3 massive swinging blades timed to a 3-beat cycle. Players memorized the visual. Mayo counted. 1, 2, 3, through. Section 40, the invisible platform section. Platforms that disappeared for 2 seconds on a random timer. Except the timer was not random. Mayo had played enough of these sections elsewhere to know the randomness repeated in a 4-cycle loop. It was always random within the loop, but the loop repeated. He counted the loop, moved on the 3rd cycle, every time. By Section 50, there were 47 players watching the server. Zenith was one of them, not typing anymore, just watching. Section 60, the blade corridor. 12 spinning blades in a row, offset timings, no room for error. The section that had ended more runs than any other. Mayo stopped before it. Not because he was scared, because this section had a sound he had memorized but never used. Each blade made a fractionally different pitch as it spun. Lower blades, lower pitch. Higher blades, higher pitch. The rhythm of 12 blades together made a chord that shifted as they rotated. He had never consciously used sound before. He closed his eyes, which changed exactly nothing since a quarter of his screen showed nothing anyway, and listened to the chord. The chord had a shape, a pattern in the pitch shifts that told him exactly which blades were open and which were closed, without seeing them. He watched through section 60 with his eyes closed. The server exploded. He did not just eyes closed. I've been trying this section for 4 months. 112 players watching now. Zenith finally typed. I need to understand what you're doing. Mayo kept moving. Section 70, clean. Section 75, clean. I'm counting. He typed between sections without stopping. Every section has a timing. Every timing has a count. I learned the counts. How long did that take? Zenith asked. 3 months, Mayo said. You've been practicing this tower for 3 months? No, Mayo said. I've been playing everything else for 3 months with a broken screen. This is my first time in this tower. The server went silent for a long time. Then Zenith typed, first time. Yeah. Section 94, Zenith said. That's where Apex stopped. 400 attempts. Section 94. I know, Mayo said. I watched all his videos. Section 80, clean. The server had 208 players watching when Mayo reached section 94, Apex's section, the one that had ended the closest run in tower history. 400 attempts. A player who had given everything and walked away. Mayo stopped at the entrance. Section 94 was different from everything before it. Not harder in the traditional sense, harder because it required something the other sections did not, a split-second decision with no time to count. A platform appeared for exactly half a second, not on a timer, not on a cycle, just once, random, and if you missed it, the section reset. You could not count your way through it, you had to see it. Mayo stood at the entrance for 40 seconds. The server watched. This is it, Zenith typed quietly. This is where it ends. 41 seconds. Then Mayo typed something. It's not random. What? The platform. Apex thought it was random. In his videos, I watched 400 attempts. The platform appeared on frame 47 of every reset cycle. Always frame 47. He was looking at it wrong. He was waiting for it to appear. If you move on frame 40, you're already there when it appears. How do you count frames? Someone asked. Same way I count everything, Mayo said. I listen to the background music. The beat drops on frame 47. Move on the beat before the drop. He moved. Frame 40. The platform appeared on frame 47. He was already standing on it. 13 sections. The hardest 13 sections ever designed. The server had stopped typing. 340 players, all watching. Complete silence. Section 95, the rotating ring. Mayo counted rotations. Clean. Section 98, the speed floor. Platforms moving faster than human tracking. Mayo moved to the rhythm of the ambient sound, not the visual. Clean. Section 102, the combination section. 3 different obstacle types running simultaneously. Mayo broke them into 3 separate rhythms and ran them as a chord. Clean. Zenith had not typed in 20 minutes. Section 107, the second to last section. Mayo fell. His first fall of the entire run. The section reset. The server exhaled. 100 chat messages at once, half concern, half the held breath breaking. Mayo stood at the reset point. He did not type anything. He counted to 4, then moved again. Section 107, clean. The final section, One platform, the size of one block, ringed by blades at maximum speed. To reach the platform, you had to jump through a gap in the blade ring that existed for exactly 1/3 of a second on each rotation. Every player who had ever gotten here, 6 players in 2 years, none past section 105, had described it the same way. You can see the gap, you know when to jump, your body just won't do it. The blade speed was above human reaction time. You could not react to the gap, you had to predict it. Mayo sat at the entrance to section 108. The server was completely silent. 340 players, not one message. He watched the blades rotate, not looking for the gap, listening. The blades had a sound, a high thin whir that shifted pitch slightly at the gap point. Not because of the gap, because the blade ring was not perfectly balanced. One blade was fractionally heavier than the others. The heavy blade made a fractionally lower note on every rotation. The gap appeared 2 blades after the low note, every time. Mayo closed his eyes, listened for the low note, heard it, counted 2, jumped. He landed. The platform was 1 block. He was standing on it. The game registered the completion. A banner appeared across every server in Tower of Hell simultaneously, the first time that banner had ever appeared. Section 108 complete. Tower cleared. Mayo! The server erupted. 340 players, every emote available, chat moving so fast it was unreadable. Zenith typed one message. It took him a long time to write it. 8 months, 412 attempts, and you did it first try, with a broken screen, with your eyes closed. Mayo looked at the banner, then looked at his cracked screen, the top right quarter showing white static, the same as always. Not first try, he typed. What do you mean? This was your first attempt. At this tower, Mayo said, but I've been practicing for 3 months, every game I played. Every section I couldn't fully see. Every time I had to count instead of look. A pause. This wasn't my first try. This was try number 10,000. I just didn't know that's what I was doing. Zenith came back the next day. He posted one thing in the server. Turning off my monitor for 1 hour a day, starting today. 43 other players replied the same thing. Subscribe right now, because next week Mayo goes back in, and Zenith is with him. And the tower has been updated. New sections, new blades, and one section that makes no sound at all. Like this video. Comment below, what section do you think would stop you? Tell us your number. See you next week.
The zenith rises when the disciple is ready. Now, perform the activation sequence. That is correct. You have learned the method.
We actually did it! All of it.